So welcome students to the class of web designing. In previous session, we have covered the topics related to web forms 2.0. In that, we have seen a demonstration for creation of the HTML forms, in which we have also seen the demonstration for new features which are added in HTML5 for better support. And the new features are the controls for the things such as URL, number, email address, date, time, and range. Along with that, we have also seen the use of attributes, placeholder, use of the attributes, placeholder, autofocus, and required. Followed by that, we have learned how do we can code text elements, which are block level elements and inline elements. We have also seen how do we can code links, lists, images in HTML, and we have seen the validation service which is provided by w3.org. How to test our web pages, how to validate our web pages by using that online service which is provided by w3.org. So that also we have seen with the help of one example. In today's session, we are going to learn about two important topics related to HTML5, such as first one is MathML and another one is SVG. So what is MathML? MathML is mathematical markup language. Now, to read the proper content about this MathML, you should visit to the website https://www.w3.org/tr/mathml3. You should visit to this particular link, and there you will find all the details regarding MathML. For SVG means Scalable Vector Graphics. About SVG, you can find all the details on the same website www.w3.org, and the URL for SVG is given here. So today itself you should visit to these sites and at least you should see about MathML, means mathematical markup language. So let us start with MathML. What is MathML? What is the use of MathML? That we will first of all understand. So this MathML is a markup language. Now you know HTML. HTML is what? It is hypertext markup language. So why it is called as markup language? Because we are using it for structuring the text, and therefore it is markup language. And HTML is used for marking up the text. Generally textual atoms, textual data, we mark up by using HTML. Similarly, if we want to describe the mathematical notations, the different mathematical structures, then can it be possible by using simply HTML? No, because HTML is supporting only textual data. But in mathematics, you know that complex symbols, equations, matrices, these many different things are occurring. Operators, operations, actions, all these things are involved in mathematics. So when we want to describe such a mathematical notations in the form of a web page, we need some language, and therefore MathML is developed. So the use of MathML is, or MathML is a markup language for describing mathematical notation and capturing both its structure and content. The goal of MathML is to enable mathematics to be served, received, and processed on the World Wide Web, just as HTML has enabled this functionality for text. So I already said you that HTML allowing us to put the text to design the web pages, and these web pages that we have designed, we can put on World Wide Web and a whole world can see it, that HTML web pages. Similarly, when you want to render, when we want to represent the mathematical structures on the World Wide Web, we can make use of this already developed markup language, which is called as MathML. So this is the another markup language. Like HTML, this is the another markup language which is called as MathML. Now, how do one can design the markup language? Designing markup language means what? It is a complex task. It is not that much easy that we can design our own markup language very easily, because it will include many different tasks to be inserted there. But most importantly, only if we consider the simple part, then we can see that in markup language, we have elements, attributes, and entities. So we need to specify what are the elements, what are the attributes, what are the different entities that will come under this markup language. For example, in HTML, we have a different elements which will allow us to put the text, such as we have a img tag for inserting image. We have a UL tag, OL tag for inserting the lists. We have an anchor tag for inserting anchors. We have a table tag for inserting table. We have a form tag for inserting form. So likewise, several elements are there that allows us to put the text, that allows us to present the text properly, design the text properly. Similarly, in MathML, there are several set of elements, attributes, entities that we can use, and that will allow us to put the mathematical notations. Different mathematical notations we can put by using that MathML. How we can create our own markup language? We can create our own markup language by using XML. So XML is a mother of all the markup languages. You can design your own markup language. You also can design your own markup language. Try to develop your own markup language. Keep it very simple. Just add some 10 elements, suppose some less number of attributes, add them, but you should try to develop a particular markup language. Okay, so by using XML, one can design own markup language. So MathML is also originally specified as an XML application. XML application means by using XML, the MathML is developed, and therefore it is an XML application. MathML is a XML application. In our syllabus, we have a complete unit on XML that I am going to what are the advantages of XML, how do you can create your own elements, your own attributes. So in that respective unit, we are going to cover all that. But here at this time, you try to understand this, that MathML is an XML application and it is developed by using XML. That's it. Now, this is all about MathML. Now we will proceed by considering the different categories of the elements which are supported by MathML. The knowledge about the elements is necessary, and then only you can use them and you can design some web pages by using the elements. And therefore, we will go through the important elements of MathML and then we will design some sample web pages by using these elements. So let us start by understanding the different elements which are supported by MathML. So first category is top level elements. So math is an element. Math is an element which is a top level element. So like in HTML web page, we have a top level element HTML. So first of all, we write HTML and then we write head section, body section. So likewise for writing the mathematical structures, you should include all that to math element. So therefore math is the top level element. Then after the category of this top level element, the next category will be token elements. So under token elements, we have several elements that we can use. So first is mglim. So this mglim element is used to display non-standard symbols where existing Unicode characters are not available. In mathematics, we may have some non-standard symbol that we may wish to put into our text, into our mathematical data, and for that Unicode characters may not be available. So such symbols you can insert by using this element called as mglim. Next to that, mi is the token element. So this mi means identifier here. I means identifier. So function name, variable name, symbolic constants. So all such a things in mathematics you can specify, you can include in the elements mi. So in the pair of start and end tag of mi, we can put the identifier. And what that identifier can be, it can be a function name, it can be a variable, or it can be a symbolic constant, likewise. Then as we specify identifier, next we need some element for putting numeric literal. So for putting numeric literal, we have element mn. So numeric literal. Similarly, in mathematics, we have operator. So how do you can insert operators? So by using mo element, you can insert operator. Then if you want to insert some string literal, you can insert it by using ms element. If you want to insert some blank space, if you want to display that blank space within the text, mathematical text, then m space is the element that we can use. Then if you want to put the text that you don't want to process, it is not related to your mathematical structures, So such a arbitrary text means it can be comments or it can be some annotations that if you want to include in your web page, then that you can encode by using mtext element. So these are some token elements that we learn, such as mglim, mi for identifier, mn for numeric literal, mo for operator, ms for string literal, m space displaying the blank space, mtext for displaying or for adding the arbitrary text, in the web documents. Then we will move towards the next category of the elements, and which is general layout elements. So under this category of general layout elements, we have some elements such as first is menclose. So the use of this element menclose is renders the content inside an enclosing notation specified by the notation attribute. So we need to make use of notation attribute, and whatever is specified in that notation attribute, that will be applied to the inside content which is written in this M enclose, So that way we can apply the notations that we wish to apply to the data by using this M enclose. Then we have another element called as M error. So this element is used to display the contents as error messages. For example, divide by 0 is the error, and that error if you want to display on a web page. So normally what we do, we put the error messages in the M error. So likewise divide by 0, somewhere it will come in your text, and that if you want to include, so you can include that part of the text in M error. So that will be the semantic element, logical element, so that one can identify, okay, this is error. This is not a normal text, but it is an error. So therefore M error. Then next is M fenced. So this M fenced means it is used to provide the parentheses or separators. Like we have parentheses, such as we have a square brackets, we have a round brackets, we have a curly brackets, then we have a separators such as colon, semicolon, commas. So all these things, whenever you want to specify, then that you can specify by using M fenced element. Then next is mfrac. So this mfrac is used to display the fractions. We have a fractions in mathematics like 3 by 4, then 8 by 9, likewise. So such a fractions when you want to display, then you can make use of mfrac. Then there is the layout element which is called as m-padded. So what is this padding means? This is related to the layout things like adjusting the space outside or in between the two elements like that. So that space you can adjust by using this m-padded. So m-padded is normally used to add the extra padding, means it is a space, extra padding. Then m-phantom. So this m-phantom is an element which is rendered invisibly. Means what? Whatever you will include in this m-phantom will not be displayed, but the dimensions of that particular element, means its height, its width, will be there. So for example, sometimes when you are writing some equation and while solving, for some instance, what you want to disable some particular identifier or some particular operator for some time. So up to that time, if you want to make it as invisible, you can make it as invisible. And then later, when you want that reader should read it, so at that time, what you can do, you can remove that from m-phantom, and so that it will get displayed. So whatever that content that you want to keep as invisible, that you can put into m-phantom. But the dimensions will come so that the user will understand, okay, there is this something, but now it is not applicable and therefore it is removed. So for such a thing, we can make use of m-phantom. Then m-root. So you know roots are there in mathematics. So for example, we have a under root 3 or like that. We can have an index also for the root. So that we can display by using mroot element. Then we have another element which is mrow. So this mrow element is used to group the sub-expressions. Sub-expressions can be grouped by using mrow. Then we have another element msqrt. Sqrt means square root. So msqrt, it is used to display the square roots. So it is just like a mroot, but in mroot we can have explicit index that you can add. But in square root, just simply you can display the square roots. So under a square root, something that you can add. So no index will be displayed here. Then we have m style. So when you want to change the style of the children of a parent element, then you can change it by putting that child data into this M style element. So this M style element can change the style of its children. So these are some elements which are related to the category of general layout. Then after general layout elements, we will be discussing about the elements which are under the category script and limit elements. So for script and limit elements, MathML is supporting the elements such as first is M multi scripts. So what is the use of this M multi scripts? This M multi script element allows us to create tensor-like objects. So in mathematics, we have some tensor-like objects. Now to understand all details about this MathML, you should have basic knowledge regarding mathematics also. So what are these tensor objects? But though you might not have seen any tensor object, you might have seen, but you might not be knowing that this is called as a tensor object. So you just put a Google query, an example of tensor object. So you can see that what is the tensor object. So such a tensor objects in mathematics can be inserted in the document by using M multi scripts. Then we have the another element called as M over. So when we write a mathematical expression, then several times you might have seen that we need to put or we need to attach some accent or a limit to that expression, such as by using curly. This part of the expression is just enclosed by the curly brackets, means from upper side or from lower side or from. So when you want to put the accent or limit from the upper side of the expression, you can use M over. You can use M over. So that is what the use of M over. Then M sub. So this is used to attach a subscript to an expression. So if suppose you want to put the subscript, then you can put it by using M sub. Then if you want to attach both subscript as well as superscript together to an expression, so you can make use of the element M sub sup. Sub is for superscript, sub is for subscript, and sup is for superscript. So M sub sup. So this is the element. Then M sup. So this is used to attach a superscript to an expression. When you want to attach a superscript like x square, so likewise M superscript you can put. Now, as you can attach accent or limit from upper side of an expression, you can also attach accent or limit from the bottom side, means under an expression, you can put that. So you can do it by using M under. So M under element is used to attach an accent or a limit under an expression. Now, if you want to attach the accents or limits both under and over an expression, so you can make use of M under over. M under over. So likewise, to specify the different text related to the mathematical scripts, you can make use of these elements such as M multi-scripts, M over, M sub sup, M sup, M under, and M under over. So this is all about the category of the elements supported by MathML, which is called script and limit elements. Next, we'll consider the next category, which is giving us the different elements supported by MathML under the category of the elements called as tabular math. So in math or in mathematics, we have a tables that we use. Normally, why we make use of the tables in mathematics? To design the matrices. Matrix, we write it in the form of a table. So when you want to create tables or matrices, then that you can create by using the element called as M table. M table is the element which is which we can use to create the table or the matrix. Then The next element under this category is M labeled TR. M labeled TR. So this is used to represent a label in a row, either on the left side or on the right side. So when we insert the rows in the table, and if you want to give some label to a particular row, so you can make use of M labeled TR. So at the left side or at the right side, you can put that particular label. Now, for putting that, whether you want it on the left side or on the right side, then you have to make use of the side attribute. And this side attribute is of M table. So if you specify M table, side is equal to left. So label will appear on the left side. Otherwise, if you specify right, the label will appear on the right side. To that M labeled TR. Now, we have inserted table, then label for the TR. Now, how do you can insert actual cell, actual row in the table? So for that, the elements are supported by MathML. So MTD is the element which is representing a cell in a table or in a matrix. So a cell in the table. Then MTR represents a row. Inside row, we will have cells. Inside one row, you may have multiple cells. So MTR element represents a row in a table or in a matrix. Then M align group, M align mark. So for alignment purposes, we can group the elements from the tabular math and then we can align. So this M align group and M align mark are related to the alignment. So this is all about the tabular math elements. Next to that, the next slide is giving the idea about the elements which are under the category elementary math. So for elementary mathematics, for putting the different symbols or for putting the different structures related to mathematics, we can make use of these particular elements which are under the category of elementary math. So first element is M long div. So long division. When you want to put it, that symbol of the division, you can put it by using M long div. Then MS carries. So see, when we have subtraction or when we have a addition, sometimes we have a carries that we want to show carries. So that carries we can show by using this MS carries and MS carry. So these are the elements that are used. So these are the mathematical concepts that we know, that division, carries, likewise. Then we have a MS group. If you want to group some numbers or if you want to group some identifiers, some constants, then that you can group by using MS group. Then MS line. If you want to put some line somewhere in the text of the or in the structure of the mathematics, then that you can put it by using MS line. Then MS row. If you want to group the expressions, mathematical expressions, then that you can group by using MS row. Then M stack. So when you want to uh, consider that this particular element will be the part of a stack, so that will be retrieved later when you want to store it for some time. So then that type of the element you can put in the M stack element. Then we have some one element which cannot be suitably be possible to put under any category that we have listed. So that uncategorized element which is called as M action. So this M action element this M action element provides a possibility to blind actions to sub-expressions. So we can provide a possibility to bind some actions. We can bind some actions to the sub-expressions. So that can be possible by using M actions. Now, the next and the last category is semantic annotations. So see here, by using all these elements, whatever that we have learned, by using that, you can put some text which will be considering some mathematical notations, some mathematical structures, but it cannot be possible to general public to understand the meaning of that element. So that is not possible, and therefore can you annotate it by using some semantic meanings? So it is tried to attach some semantic annotations to that particular uh, text related to the mathematics by using these semantic annotations. So this will include the different tags such as annotation, XML, and semantics. These are the three elements which MathML is supporting, and these three elements are used to combine the presentation and content markup and provide both layout information and semantic meaning of the mathematical expression. That means what we can do in a MathML web page, first of all, we can put the presentation MathML, which generally is used to control the layout of the equations, by what way you want to display it. So that will be what get decided by this presentation ML. And then in content ML, what you can do with the help of this semantics annotation and annotation XML, we can include these semantic mathematical meanings so that it will become understandable to computer algebra systems. For example, if those web pages are processed by some algebra system, computerized algebra system, and that algebra system wish to understand that what is the meaning of this content. So if it is required, then by using that semantic elements which are inserted in the content MathML, the computer algebra systems can understand it. So therefore, these semantic annotations is an important feature which is added in MathML. So this is all about, we can say, the theory related to MathML, means what different elements, what different categories of the elements we can use in MathML. We have started with that. What is the actual use of MathML? What are the advantages that we have done? And then followed by that, we have discussed that what are the uses of these semantic annotations. So after this, we'll now start performing some practicals. So with the help of that practical examples, I will demonstrate you that how you can design some web pages which is making use of MathML. So here I will stop the presentation and I will share you the Notepad++ so that we can start coding the web pages. Everyone understood up to this? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I should start demonstrations now.
Yeah.
I will start demonstrations, and for that, let me share you the desktop so that you can see what I am doing by using Notepad++. So let us start Notepad++, and in that Notepad++, we are going to type some examples. Okay, so this is the first example that we will be writing for MathML. Everyone is able to see Notepad++ on your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will do it into the HTML page, and therefore I will write doc type HTML. Please mute your mics, and then here HTML and HTML. Okay, so just save it as a .html only. So first MathML example. So save it, and then here in this we will add a body section. So in HTML body, And then here in that body, it is compulsory to make use of math top element. So I have used here math top element. Now in this first example, what I am going to demonstrate you, I am going to demonstrate you how do you can insert a equation. In mathematics, we have an equation, you know. For example, the equation is x square plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. See, somewhere you can write also, if you have pen and book along with you, what you can do, you can write that what I am going to insert here. X square plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. That I am going to insert. So for that, I have created here a template in which I have started the math element and I have enclosed it, and inside that just put that equation. So first of all, I will make use of mrow element. So mrow element will group the expression. So a complete expression I will put in one group. Okay. So first of all, what I want to display m square. Sorry, x square. I want to display x square. So in this x square, the identifier is x. 2 is a number. And this 2 should be superscript of x. So it is clear that you should make use of superscript element. So M SUP. And in M SUP, you have the identifier x and you have the number that you will put in MN. MI means for identifier and MN is for the numeric literal. So MN is 2. And just close this MSUP, and mrow is already closed, and close the math. Just see this output in the Firefox. So launch it in Firefox. So can you see x square appeared? X square is appeared on the screen due to this. So 2 is a superscript of x. So that we have added. And after this, we need to put the operator plus, x square plus. So for putting operator, you should make use of the element called as AMO. So AMO means mathematical operator. So plus. Plus is the operator. After that, x square plus 4x. So 4 means it is again numeric literal. So MN. So inside MN, put 4. So x square plus 4. X square plus 4x. We want 4x. So after 4, we have a x, which is a identifier. So put MI 4. X. And close that MI. Now see, in between these 4 and x, when sometimes the web pages are rendered, and if you are inserting this equation somewhere in the paragraph, then what will happen sometimes after this 4, if suppose there is no space, so it is going to break these two elements, 4 and x, and that you don't want to break because these are the integral part, 4 followed by x. There is some meaning in between this 4 and x. If you want to represent it, so that you can represent by using the character entity, and that you can insert by using AMO, and that character entity is ampersand invisible times and semicolon. You know how we specify character entity? Ampersand, name of the character entity, and semicolon. So ampersand invisible times semicolon. And then after this x square plus 4x, we are going to write plus 4. So AMO plus, and then plus 4. So here MN means numeric literal 4. So here x square plus 4x plus 4. And then after that is equal to 0. So operator is equal to, and after operator equal to, we need 0. So that is numeric literal. So this 0. And here close row, close math. So what we have written, x square plus 4 x plus 4 is equal to 0. So let us render this example on the Firefox. See here, x square plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. Can you see the output on the browser's window? Anyone can say yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone can
Yes,
say
ma'am.
yes? Okay. So x square plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. That is the output. X square plus 4x plus 4. That is the output of this particular code. So this way, by using MathML, you can insert the equations in the text, in the hypertext, not only simple text, but in hypertext. In HTML, you can insert it. In HTML, you can write in paragraph, and in paragraph, you can include this math element. For example, if suppose I put here the paragraph element, in paragraph element, just put it H2 and here give math ML example insert some hypertext and then run it. So you will find math ML example 1 and then x square plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. So likewise, you can do it. Now, next to that, I will demonstrate you some more examples. In that, some more elements can be demonstrated to you. And therefore, let me open another notepad instance. So, and in that, what we will do, we will type square root of 2, then we'll type some symbol, which is the integral symbol, infinity symbols, like that. So that we are going to insert in this particular sample web page. So once again, start that example. So DOC type, as I am inserting it into the hypertext, I want to design HTML page. So I will write here DOC type HTML, then HTML, close it as a HTML and save it. So I will save it as a .htm file and therefore select the option .htm and here second math ML example. So save it and then inside this body, and inside body make use of math, and then in math element, now what I want to put, I want to put square root of 2. So for square root of 2, which element is supported by MathML? We know M sqrt. So put M sqrt, and then in this MSQRT, what you want to write? You want to write the numeric literal 2 because I want square root of 2 and therefore I have written this. So if I will render it into the Firefox, you can see that there is a square root of 2. Square root of 2. You can again write here p tag and in that give some heading such as math ML second example, so that you can able to see it like this math ML second example and this square root of 2. Square root of 2. You can change obviously the value. If I want square root of 9, so I will get square root of 9. So this way you can insert the square root. Now in the same page, I will insert or I will make use of mroot element. So mroot, and in mroot, I will put an index. So mi x means identifier is x, and index I want 3. So that index I will put in numeric literal. So it is suppose say 3. And then close the mroot and close the mroot. So save the file and launch it into the Firefox. So let me put here some space. So ampersand mbsp. So this character entity also we have seen in the previous session. So I will put some spaces over here and then I will launch it into the Firefox. So can you see after the square root of 9, we have under root x and its index is 3. Under root x and index is 3. So that can be possible by using mroot element. Now next to that, I will demonstrate you that how do we can make use of that m under over, putting that accent to the under or to the top of the expression. So for that, make use of m under over. So m under over is the element that we are using. Here again, I will put the space so that you will be able to see it. And here in m under over, you put this mo as once again the character entity reference I will use int. And this int is for the integral symbol, integrity symbol. Okay. So integrity symbol, you will find it in the output so that you will understand it. And then mn 0. So that will appear at the under part, and then over will appear mi, and that will be the infinity symbol. And infinity symbol I can insert by using the character entity reference infin and infin semicolon. So here I have made use of two character entity references such as integrity symbol and infinity symbol. So due to this, the output will come like this here. Can you see this integrity symbol? And under the integrity symbol I have 0, and over the integrity symbol I have an infinity symbol. Okay, so this is code that we have used to display that integrity symbol, and under we have a 0, and we have an infinity at the over part. So this way we can make use of m under over. So this is one of the example, and by using this example you can see that we have some mathematical structure in a web page like under root something with index, and some mathematical structure to which we have under data and over data. So that can be possible by using these MathML elements that we have seen with the help of this example. Now some more example we are going to learn, and that example will allow you to understand some more elements. So let me design one more example. So let me create the another HTML file. So this will be the usual things that you have to do for every page. So doc type HTML, and then HTML, and then close it, HTML, and then after that save, so that that auto notation facility will come to appear. If you do not save the file, then that auto completion feature is not possible to appear. So therefore save it. So third MathML example, I have saved it as a third MathML example.html. Then here in that we will include body section, and in body section put math as the top element, and in math top element, so what we will do, we will insert the equation. We will put the equation such as x plus y, which is surrounded by a circular box. So inside that particular expression is written. So how do you can do it? So for that we have to make use of m enclose. M enclosed is the element. M enclosed. You know that this M enclosed, if you will be able to recall the element list that we have covered, this M enclosed is requiring a notation attribute. So M enclosed notation, make use of notation attribute, and here is equal to the value of this notation circle box I want, and therefore circle box, put circle box, and then close that enclose tag, and inside that enclose, now I want to put x plus y. So simply mi is the identifier, x plus means mo operator plus, and then after that put x plus y, so identifier y. So x plus y identifier, and it is enclosed in a circle box, circular box. So therefore, here, if we launch it into Firefox, you can see here it is enclosed in a circular box. If it is possible for you, I can just put here some heading so that the text will appear. Math ML example 3, so that it will not be get rendered at the corner side. You can see it over here. So MathML example 3. So x plus y. So it is get surrounded by a circle box. It is surrounded by a circular box. So that can be possible. Here there are different styles that you can put. So you can find out that what different values can be possible to put over here. And for that, you should visit to the w3.org, try to understand it, try to find out many different values, many other different attributes that you can specify. So this is the example in which we have demonstrated M enclosed element. M enclosed. Now, one more example I will demonstrate you over here. So let me create one more notepad. And now let us take somewhat complicated expression. So how to put that complex expression inside the hypertext that we will consider here. So that expression is our usual expression that you might have heard several times, such as x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac completely divided by 2a. This expression several times you might have heard or several times you might have read, such as x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. I will repeat the equation and you can write it somewhere on your page so that the code that I am writing here, you can see that for what purpose I am adding the code, so that you can understand line by line the complete code that I am writing to insert this equation. So I will repeat once again the equation. X is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac, and this complete is divided by 2a. Okay. So in this equation, you can see that there are two fractions. There are means it is a fractional part. So first is minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac. This will be the part and then divided by 2a. So we have that 2a. So this is a fraction, and therefore first of all we need to make use of a fraction, and the first part will be that minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac. So let us start coding this equation. So doc type html, here html, enclose it, just close html tag and then save it so that I will get that feature. So hypertext, and this is the fourth math ML example. Okay, and then here insert body, in body insert math. Okay, and in math what I want to insert, x is equal to that complete expression. So first of all I want to put x is equal to, so let us group that expression first of all like this. So for grouping the expression, m row, and in m row I will put first of all x is equal to, so x will be identifier and is equal to, that is equal to will be the operator. So mo will be is equal to. So what this will display, you can see that this will display x is equal to. Here I will put p and insert that h3 mathml example and just run it. So what it have displayed, x is equal to, it have displayed x is equal to. And now what I want to put, I want to put the fractional number, and therefore I should put here m frac. So in m frac means that fractions. Now in this, first of all we'll have first part in which minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac. So first of all let us put minus b. So to put minus b, what I will do, I will group it as a m row. So m row, and in that first of all I will have operator minus, and then I will have identifier b. So what that will do, that will display x is equal to minus b. So if you will see it in the browser, so invalid markup, why? Because I have here put a fraction, but I do not have put the another part, and therefore this will not be displayed. So here up to this we have displayed minus b, and then after this what I want to display, I want to display that plus minus symbol. So to put that plus minus symbol, I will make use of the character entity reference that we have studied in previous lecture. Plus minus means plus mn, ampersand plus mn. So that will put that plus minus symbol. And then after that, under square root, b square minus 4ac. So let us start m square root. M square root. And in m square root, we will put group of the expression by using m row, and in that first of all we will put a b square. So for b square, m superscript, and in m superscript identifier is b, and the numeric literal is 2. So b square, and then minus 4ac. So minus 4ac, so mo will be minus. Then 4ac, so for 4ac, mn numeric literal is 4, and then ac, so a means it is mi, so identifier a, and then c, so again mi c. So here we have inserted minus e plus or minus under square root b square minus 4ac. And then after this, what I will do, I will close this particular m row. This m row is closed here, this m row is closed over here. And then after this first row, let us start the another row in which we will put that 2a. So m row, and in this m row, just put the 2a, means first of all numeric literal 2, and then a. So for putting a, I should use mi, identifier a. So 2a. So now if we will see it, this m row, you can just start it. You can put it over here. So this m row is closed over here, and this m square root, this m square root should be closed after this 4ac. So therefore, put this over here. So m square root, square root, and you can have this m row over here. This way, m square root 4ac, this one row, and then this one is 2a, like this. And this is the fractions that we have used, and then close the math. So before the understanding once again the code, see here, let me put one more row over here. M fracts. So this m row should be closed. See, this m row I have inserted, and that I should close it over here. See, closing and enclosing, I have just made some mistakes in that, and therefore it is not appearing the output. So just see the output. Once again, there is something invalid. Let me check it once again. See, in math, we have put m row, and in m row, we have put x is equal to, and then m frac, and in m frac, we have put there one m row, and in that m row, we have inserted one another row, and in that we have put minus b. And then here, we have put the operator plus minus, and then another in another row we can have that another row over here. So in square root you can have that another row. So here that was the row. So this particular row is here. So you just put your mic off. Please put your mic off. So this is square root m row, and in this b square minus 4ac.
आवाज आ रही है क्या?
नहीं
मैम आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
मैम का माइक म्यूट है. म्यूट.
So I have started my mic. Everyone is able to listen me? Everyone is able to listen me?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So here what we are doing, we are trying to insert the equation x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So first of all, we have inserted here one row, and in that x is equal to, and here in m frac, we have inserted one row. So I think there is a mistake in this closing and opening tag. So this is one row, and in this one m row, and in that minus b plus minus, and then here in this square root we have one more another row in which we have m superscript this b square minus 4ac, and then after that, after closing this m square root, we have one another row mn 2a. So means divided by 2a, and this row is closed over here, and this one is the m frac, means this fractional part is over. Now let us check whether it is working well or not. Hope this will work well. I don't know why it is appearing as invalid. So let me show you that I already have designed that code. So if it is possible, then you can check later on the mistake. So here this MathML example I can open. So I can open it in Notepad++ first of all, so that you can find the code. I already have done it and have tested, but I don't know why it is giving some error. So see here, if I will run it into the Firefox, you will see here one equation for the example, x is equal to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So same we have typed over here in the fourth example, but due to that closing of the MRO, I think there is some problem. I can share you this particular code so that you can see and you can understand that how do this particular equation is inserted. Now one more example is remaining to be discussed, and which will give us you the idea that how you can insert the matrix, means a table inside the hypertext. So that I can demonstrate you. So let me take one more example. That will be the last example in this session of MathML. So just put here a matrix. So to put the matrix, we have to make use of M table element. So fastly, I am going to type here that code. So HTML, close HTML, and then save this as the HTML file. Save this as a HTML file, and here give example or give name matrix example. So save it, and then inside that you just put a body tag, and in body tag we'll put here math tag. We'll put a math tag, and in math tag we have to create a matrix. Just create an identity matrix of 3 by 3. Simple matrix, identity matrix of 3 by 3. So how do you can create it? For that, first of all, you specify that matrix should be, suppose say, surrounded by round brackets. So MO round brackets. And then after that, you create a table. So M table. And in M table, you create a row. So first row I will create by using mtr element, and in mtr element we will put the first row. So that first row will be created by using mtd, and in mtd we will have 1 0 then 0 because it is identity matrix. So mn 1, then mn 0, and then mn 0. So this will display one row, and that in that particular table, the first column and the first row will have value 1. Second column in the first row will have value 0. Then third column, first row will have value 0. So likewise, I will put 3 rows. So, and then here we'll have 0 1 0 because it is identity matrix. 0 1 0, and then after that I will have here 0 0 1 0 0 1. So these 3 rows, and then close this M table, and then here we have to enclose it by using this MO. As we have started with a rounded brackets, just enclose it by the rounded brackets like this, and then save this particular code and try to see the output in the browser. So if you will see that once again we have made some mistake. So what is that mistake? If anybody is able to see the mistake, then you can find out. mtr mtd 1, then 0, then 0, and this mtd is there. So this mtr is closed, means the first row, and then second row, or let me just check this particular output. So this is giving like this in one row only, that all three data is given. So if you want to insert it in the another rows, here you have to close this MTR. So that will be the first row, and then again start the another row, and then end this another row over here after finishing this one. Finishing this one. So this is the new row, and here we will start the another row. So likewise, the three rows we have inserted, that is correct. Okay. Now save it and just see the output. So it is just giving bracket to only this part. So I will see that. Just open once again. See, that was the last example, and here see M row. Okay, we just forget to group it. So see, it is very much necessary to put here M row. So what we do not have put here, we do not have grouped it together, and therefore it is just appeared to only one row. So M row, and everything, this everything should be grouped together, and therefore here we should put M row. And then if you will see it, if this output, if you will launch it in the Firefox, then you see that there is a rounded bracket. Now, if you don't want rounded bracket, you can put the square bracket. You can change the square bracket or to the curly brackets. Now, if you will run it, if you will launch it, then that identity matrix is displayed in the square bracket. If you want to put a space also over here, then that also you can put. After 1, some space you can insert, and then after 0, some space you can insert, and then like a matrix here, you can display the matrix. So by using this M table, MTR, MTD, you can make use of the, or you can make creation of the matrices by using MathML. Now I will demonstrate you one more example, and that example will be giving you how important the semantics elements, that last point that we have learned about that semantics notations. See here, how do that particular page can be designed? That type of the page is divided into two parts. One is this presentation MathML, and another one is this content MathML. So first of all, you try to see the output here so that you will understand the code. What is written? X square plus y. X square plus y is displayed. So see, how do it is started? Math, and then in semantics, the first part is presentation MathML. So here one row is created, x square plus y. And in content MathML, its meaning is stated by using the words like apply, then plus, apply power. So x square is applied and then plus y. So by using this, the computer algebra system can understand that what is this? This is x square plus y. But by using this, the algebra system is not able to understand, because algebra system don't know the meaning of M row, meaning of M sub, meaning of Mi, meaning of Mn, meaning of Mo. That algebra system don't know. But algebra system know these notations like apply, plus, power, Ci, Cn, this they know. And therefore, that semantic which is related to the algebra system. And for understanding this code to the algebra system, such a content MathML you can include in your presentation ML, and you can make use of that semantics in MathML. So this way we can use it. So I will close here the Notepad++, and here we have performed the examples by using Notepad++. And now I will start here. I will stop here the discussion about the MathML. So thank you for listening patiently. And if you have any query, then you can ask me related to MathML. Yes. If anyone is having query regarding MathML, you can ask. Are you able to listen me? Yes. Are you able to listen me?
Yes. Yes.
So if you have any query regarding MathML, you can ask. Have you understood all the elements and the examples that I have demonstrated to you? So several examples I have demonstrated here only because that one will give you idea that how actually you can code. Now you might have seen practically that when we are typing, sometimes we forgot to make use of some element, and due to that it is not possible to get the required output or the desired output. So for example, when I am typing, I just forget to put the M row, and due to that M row, that rounded brackets, I am not able to get to all the 3 rows. It is just get applied to only to the second row. So likewise, we make a small mistakes. So not to have those small mistakes, what one should do, you type a small code, type to execute that code in the browser, or try to see that particular code in the browser, and then you add line by line. Otherwise, it will not be possible to find out the error properly. If you type everything at once, and then if you try to achieve the desired output, then identifying where do we have made mistakes becomes difficult. So therefore, what one should do, first of all, you just create a template, such as you just only put DOC type declaration line, HTML, a body section, head section, inside body section, just put paragraphs required. And in that, whatever the basic elements you require, just put it. And you just view it in the browser, and one by one, you add the things and try to see whether it is working correct or not. So I hope everyone you will be able to put the mathematical elements, the mathematical content you can put now as a hypertext. So I expect you that what you will do, everyone, what you will do, that you will try to find out some paragraphs in which you will have the involvement about the mathematical equations or matrices or some mathematical other structures. Try to encode it in the hypertext format. You write it as a hypertext format and try to see its output in the browser. So that will be the assignment to all of you. I think now it's 12, so I will not start SVG today, but SVG I'm going to start now in the next session only. So we'll stop here, but before that, if you have any query, you can ask. Yes? Any query?